Hey everybody, I have continued working on the Ruby Amethyst tempo deck that I posted a video about earlier this week, and so far I have put up a pretty crazy win rate with it, actually over 80%, which is amazing. Now some of that obviously is luck. I don't think you could ever maintain a win rate that high in the long run, but I do think that this deck is legit, so I just wanted to go over the few changes I made, which were primarily to cut the Queen of Hearts package and then trim one Scar and one Merlin, which are uninkables, for one more one drop in Olaf, two Teeth and Ambitions, which is a nice early game removal spell, which pairs really well with cards like Olaf Minnie Mouse, and you can sing it with your two drops to remove any early game threat, which is really nice against a lot of the aggro decks, but also against Amber Steel. And there are two copies of the Sorcerer's Spellbook as well in here. And this is obviously just great at closing out games. It's really great in the mirror. And I also have one copy of Jiminy Cricket, which is probably bad, but I just wanted to have a little fun, so I stuck one of these bad boys in here. I think, I would love to play 5 copies of Pascal, which I can't do. Obviously, you're only allowed to play 4. And Jiminy Cricket, I don't know. Sometimes it'll draw a card, in theory, and, it's kind of like a bad 5th copy of Pascal, so that's just there for a good time. Other than that, yeah, I think it's a pretty typical, bounce package out of Amethyst. You've got the Mims, you've got the Merlins, Pinocchio, which is a vulnerable threat, but you can protect it with the Mims and Arthur. And yeah, it's just a really aggressive deck. Obviously, Minnie's another really aggressive card. LeFou protects things as well. And some controlling characters at the top end of the curve here in Maui and Scar. Scar, he ends up being pretty decent in this deck, although he's kind of mostly just here as a countermeasure against the Amber Steel decks. After they wheel, it can sometimes be really hard to catch back up, even though you'll be, maybe at 12 lore. They can pretty quickly wipe your board with a Grab Your Sword and a Tinkerbell. Scar gives you a way to sort of catch back up, which is nice. And again, I'm playing Scar and not Be Prepared just because I want to build a board of my own. I've got a decent number of evasive threats, and I don't really want to wipe them away all the time. But yeah, without further ado, I'll jump into some games. All right, here we are on the draw with Ruby Amethyst Aggro. On the draw, I like shipping the friends on either side. I don't think Arthur is super great on the draw, just because it's a little slow and there's a good chance my opponent's playing aggro. I'm going to keep the Inkables. Okay. We'll see how these Pinocchios play out. Hopefully my opponent is not doing some Amber Steel stuff. They are not. They're doing some amethysting of their own. We have so many twos. Of course, these are decent with Pinocchio, too. Okay, I'm going to get rid of Merlin 4 because I have the other Merlin 4. And I certainly can't ink that one. Goat Merlin's better at the end of the game. I feel like in the mid-game, this Merlin is often better anyway. Opponent plays a Madam Mim. Do I want my Pinocchio in play? Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like playing, I don't necessarily want to bounce my Pascal, which just kind of quests for one for free. But the Pinocchio obviously doesn't really do anything in the face of a Madam Mim. It's tough. But on turn 4, I could always play like Mim, bounce, Pinocchio, replay Pinocchio. Okay. Fox Mim. You know, If that's what I'm gonna draw... this mini is so good, though. I don't want to ink any of my inkables. An impossible dilemma. I'm going to ink this Mim and just play a mini. I'm going to try and get my opponent with the evasives. They're going to have to be prepared to get themselves out of this mess. And then I can try to play for that game. Inking a Maui, I guess, because it's not great against our board. That makes some sense. Merlin, yeah. They can draw all the cards they want. They're going to have to somehow beat this. So now the question is, what do I ink? And I think it's Maui, and I'm going to play a Merlin. Now that we've drawn Scar, we're going to want to get to 7 eventually. But like another inkable, playing Pascal Merlin's not horrible. This Pascal, because they're going to need to be prepared anyway, maybe I can just ink this Pascal. Tremaine is annoying. Bouncing Tremaine. Ew. Hate that. Buys a lot of time. My opponent should just quest out here. Like, what are they afraid of? Taking out my mini? Okay. Makes some sense. Alright, that was a pretty good turn for them. I'm gonna have to do stuff here. Okay. I like just playing 2 threats and still kind of holding out hope that I can get value out of this Pinocchio somehow. Alright, we get to draw our card. Mini, not a bad one, not a bad one. What are they using this on? This feels like a play where they don't have... Using it on Pinocchio to just prevent the 3, maybe? Okay, Goat Merlin. Drawing cards. Okay, that feels like a play where they don't have Be Prepared to me. Okay, I think I have a decent play then in the face of that. Now it kind of forces them to still have Be Prepared, but all I committed to the board was a LeFou. Just very aggressive. And I can rebuild if they have it. They're probably going to need a second one. Well, maybe not. Yeah, that's not really it. All right, we got it. Nice. That was a nice win. Okay, back for another game with Ruby Amethyst Aggro. We go first, so I'm going to keep, I think, Arthur and 1, Mim 2. Really looking for a 1-drop. Okay, we found at least one drop. Okay, I like this hand. Decently aggressive. I'm going to keep all 3 1-drops because that gives me the option of playing 2 of them on turn 2. And I think... I think I want to keep this Mim just in case they're playing like a steel deck, and I don't want to commit to like 3 1-drops in the first 2 turns. Okay, doesn't look like that's the case, so I think the 3 1-drop plan looks pretty good at this point. So I don't think I need this Mim. I think I'm just gonna go all out. And if they want to trade, that's great. Oh, I don't even know what that Merlin does. Is that the one where if you like bounced, it gets like plus lore, I think, maybe for every character you've bounced or something? Alright, yeah. Slifu, not necessary. Let's just get an Arthur in play. And let's get aggressive. Foxman would be good for them, but not unbeatable. This might be a game where we try bouncing our own Maleficent. You know, I would really love a Rabbit Merlin off the top. Seems like a great time to be bouncing a Rabbit Merlin. Ooh, they're playing a big Madam Mim deck. It's one I'm not so familiar with. Okay, there is the Fox Mim. Okay. Against that, I think I am going to just trade my own Fox Mim into it. Yeah. I want to protect my Arthur. They don't have a good way to answer it this turn. I could start bouncing Maleficent, maybe. I do need some cards. Definitely down on cards. All right, time to read this. Yes, whenever one of your other characters is returned to your hand from play. All right, I'm not afraid of that. I'm gonna draw first here. Scar. Okay. I think I want to bounce Pascal at least this turn just to be ink efficient. I'm gonna ink this Mim and then play Pascal again. Hoping they don't have an answer at Arthur, but obviously they might. If they do, we're gonna need to draw something. I'm not afraid of Arthur. Arthur, not that good when you're this far behind, believe it or not. Okay, looks like we're gonna get to have some fun with Maleficent here. Ooh. Well, that's not very good. Is this only when it's... yeah, when it's banished in a challenge. Okay. I honestly think I'm just gonna ink this Teeth and Ambitions. Yeah. I don't think shooting Hey is that important. Okay, and they just scoop. All right. Well, that was pretty fantastic. All right, we're here playing one more game with Ruby Amethyst Aggro, trying to get one more win so they can gain some ranking points for the ladder. This hand is a little awkward. I want to keep 2, 3, and 1 Mana Mim. Would love a 1-drop. I think I might have to keep this Friends just to make sure I have Inkables. Okay. Not my favorite hand of all time. This Teeth and Ambitions looks pretty terrible. I'm going to start by inking that. This is just not a hand that plays well with it. Okay, Maleficent, some sort of Ruby Amethyst control deck is my guess. Yes, would appear so. Don't hate Mini. I mean, I'm going to play Pinocchio. We'll see where it goes. If they don't play LeFou, I might, or a 2-drop Mim, I might take it out with my Mim and then bounce my Pinocchio. But they do. In that case, I think I'm happy to get my Surfer Mini in play. This just threatens to quest for a lot. Maleficent. Sure. Spellbook. I was really hoping for an Inkable, because I would have liked to quest and run my Madam Mim into their Madam Mim, but that will not be an option. I think I'm going to have to play this Merlin and get some card draw going. Yeah. In dire need of Inkables here. Glad I kept Inkables in my opening hand. This could be worse. Teeth and Ambitions. Oh, my Pinocchio. Okay. Are they going to bounce something with like a Mim? No, just a Merlin. Okay. Ooh. Kind of like that. At least as an Inkable. I was thinking it'd be good to play, but I can't play it. Okay. Ink it is. Well, it's a little early for the spellbook. I think Arthur Pinocchio, at least for this turn, sounds pretty good. And taking out this Maleficent while I can also seems pretty good. They're probably going to have to hit my Merlin, which should draw me a card. Hopefully ink. Please be ink. Nope. Third Arthur? Not where I want to be. Maybe this mini will just go the distance. They have all the cards. Whew. Sheesh. I want to play it. What to do? Well, probably looks like this, at least to start. Then Arthur? Yeah, seems fine enough. Then I should be able to maybe win over the next 2 turns. Need something. I mean, now I have technically lethal on board, I think. This game's looking pretty good. That'll do it for sure. Hey, all right. Well, nice quick 3-0. Yeah, this deck's very good, and as you've probably seen, it crushes the Ruby Amethyst Mirror, which is perhaps one of its best matchups. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment. My channel's been doing really great. I'm really thankful for everyone who's watched my content and keeps me engaged.